Hi, I'm Steve Younis. Welcome to the Speeding Bulletin, your Superman video bringing you up to date on what took place during the period January 27th to February 9th, 2017. Our top news stories this week included Zack Snyder shares an interesting photo of Jonathan and Martha Kent, Teri Hatcher and Kevin Sorbo have been cast to appear in upcoming episodes of Supergirl, and we mourn the passing of Broadway Superman Bob Holiday. Let's check out these news stories and more in this week's Speeding Bulletin. In movie news, HeroicHollywood.com published part of a longer interview with Batman v Superman Assistant Director Damon Caro and Visual Effects Supervisor Brian Harato, in which they discuss working on the upcoming Justice League movie, the tone of the film, and comparing Man of Steel, Batman v Superman and Justice League to the original Star Wars trilogy. Caro said, "People try to say that it's a response to the backlash, and I definitely say that criticisms were heard, but it's not like we threw everything out and started with a blank slate. It's a bit like Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, dark movie, but the Return of the Jedi is a rise in the rebuilding of hope." Zack Snyder shared a black and white picture via his Vero social media account, which shows Diane Lane as Martha Kent and Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent, holding signs with the number or year 1992. The photo does not appear to be from Man of Steel, as the clothes the pair are wearing do not appear in that film. There's speculation from fans that the costumes may indeed be from the upcoming Justice League movie, with the pair possibly appearing in a flashback sequence. Zack Snyder also shared a 12-minute video showing the layers involved in building the special effects on scenes from Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. He wrote, "This is a look behind the curtain and what my amazing visual effects team is able to achieve. They are simply amazing." The video also includes dialogue explaining some of the special effects created specifically for Doomsday. Sideshow Collectibles is taking pre-orders for the Batman v Superman statue by Prime 1 Studio. The Dawn of Justice Superman statue is crafted in 1:2 scale with attention to detail and a movie-accurate likeness. Standing around 41 inches tall, this statue is the ultimate Superman statue to add to your collection, and it's limited to a run of only 1,000 statues. The Batman v Superman statue by Prime 1 Studio is available to pre-order now for $2,000 for its release later this month. In TV news, last week's episode of Supergirl was titled We Can Be Heroes, and this week's episode was titled The Martian Chronicles. Our own T.A. Hewitt reviewed both episodes, giving the latter a 3 out of 5 rating, saying, "Supergirl is in essence a romantic comedy, and these are the tropes of such shows." The CW has released the official description and photo gallery and promo trailer for the 12th episode of Season 2 of Supergirl, titled Luthor's. In this episode, after Metallo breaks out of prison and frees Lillian Luthor, the police blame Lena for his escape and arrest her. Despite overwhelming evidence, Kara refuses to believe her friend is guilty and fights to clear Lena's name. Flashbacks reveal how Lena came to be a Luthor. This episode is scheduled to air on the CW on Monday, February 13th. The CW also released the official description for the 13th episode of Season 2 of Supergirl, titled Mr. and Mrs. Mxyzptlk. In this episode, when Mr. Mxyzptlk, a magical imp, shows up on Earth and declares his love for Kara, she tries to let him down easy, thinking him harmless. However, he decides it's a challenge and starts to wreak havoc on National City. Mon-El has seen beings like Mr. Mxyzptlk on Daxam and knows how dangerous they can be. He and Kara argue over how to get rid of Mr. Mxyzptlk, further straining their relationship. This episode is scheduled to air on Monday, February 20th. We discovered this week that Teri Hatcher and Kevin Sorbo have been cast in roles for the upcoming episodes of Supergirl. In an interview with ET Online, Kevin Sorbo revealed some details about his role, saying, "I leave next week, I'm heading up to Vancouver, and I'll be doing a 3-show arc, and Teri Hatcher's playing my wife. I'm from another planet that's an arch rival, planet of Krypton, and that means it's not too hard to work out that Sorbo and Hatcher will be playing the roles of Daxamites, possibly the parents of Mon-El." The CW released a new poster image for the remaining episodes of Season 2 of Supergirl. The tagline for the poster, which features Melissa Benoist as Supergirl floating in space, reads, "No friend left behind." Powerless, the new DC Comics TV series, premiered in the USA on Thursday, February 22nd on NBC. The pilot episode features a number of Superman references, including this animated version of Action Comics #1 in the opening credits. In comic book news, we reviewed a number of comic books this past couple of weeks, which included Action Comics 972, which was reviewed by Michael Bailey, who said, The drama of the piece was set to 11 for most of the issue, and he gave it a 5 out of 5 score. Adam DeChannel reviewed Superman number 16, giving it a 3 out of 5, saying, "I enjoyed this issue and the themes of hope and inspiration." Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 6 was reviewed by Keith Sumner, who gave it a 4 out of 5 score, saying, "This was a strong ending to a good crossover." T.A. Hewitt reviewed Justice League number 14, giving it a 4 out of 5, saying, "This installment reads more like an episode of the Super Friends with a done-in-one agenda to highlight a subplot as opposed to the standard story." Superman comics available this week from February 8th include DC Superhero Girls Past Times at Superhero High Chapter 10 digital comic, Action Comics 973, which is available in a variant cover, Earth 2 Society number 21, Justice League Power Rangers number 2, New Superman number 8, which is available in a variant cover, Red Hood and the Outlaws number 7, which is also available in a variant cover, Supergirl number 6, which is also available in a variant cover, Superwoman number 7, also comes in a variant cover, Earth 2 Volume 6 Collision trade paperback, and JLA Gods and Monsters trade paperback. Show that super someone in your life how much they mean to you this Valentine's Day. Get this Hallmark Strong Heart Valentine's Day card for just $7.92. Or how about a half dozen superhero cookies for just $19? These and other Valentine's gift ideas are available from your one-stop Superman shop, the Superman homepage online store at supermanhomepage.com/shop. In other news, Bob Holiday, the first actor to portray Superman on the Broadway stage in the 1966 Harold Prince musical comedy It's a Bird, It's a Plane, It's Superman, died on January 27th at his home. Bob was 84 years old. I was fortunate to call Bob a friend when the two of us began communicating via email prior to the 2003 Superman celebration in Metropolis, Illinois, where he appeared as a special guest. I was honoured to be asked by Bob to bring on stage a life-size cardboard standee of him as Superman during his live performance at the Superman celebration. That standee is now a prize item in my personal collection. Our condolences to his family and friends. Warner Brothers is set to release a new mobile game titled Justice League Action Run, based on the animated series currently airing on Cartoon Network. Assemble your own team of Justice League action heroes to run and fight infamous villains. In between missions, watch videos and read character facts and comic books. Justice League Action Run, currently unreleased, will be available on Google Play and the Apple Store soon. The Superman homepage Super Trivia Quiz has been updated for another month. The 3 questions we're asking you this time around are: what colour is the S on Superman's cape in Superman the movie? What colour is the S on Superman's cape in Superman the animated series? And what are the 2 main colours of Lois Lane's Ultrawoman costume in the Lois and Clark TV series? If you think you know the answers to all 3 questions, come by the site now to submit your entry. You'll find the Super Trivia Quiz under the Favourites menu. That's all the news there was for the period January 27th to February 9th. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Great Scott! Great Scott! Great Scott!
Hello everyone, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So, very recently we learned that 2 of the next big guest stars on Supergirl will be Teri Hatcher and Kevin Sorbo. Teri Hatcher, the beloved Lois Lane of 1992's Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. It lasted for 4 years. In my opinion, she was the best, or one of the best, Lois Lanes to be in extended media or film or whatever. I think she looks the role. I think she played the role greatly. She's sexy. She's beautiful. Even nowadays, she still looks great, and she's in her 50s or whatever. And there were rumors at the time that Kane and Teri Hatcher didn't get along on set, but Dean Cain mentioned that it's great. He thinks it's great she's coming to the show. Kevin Sorbo, another interesting connection, was that he was actually cast to play the role of Clark Kent's Superman in the Lois and Clark TV show alongside Teri Hatcher back in the 90s. And a couple of days after he was actually booked to play the role, they called him and said they changed their mind and they had cast Dean Cain, which must have been heartbreaking at the time, but then not too long later he got the role of Hercules in Hercules: The Legendary Journeys, and that went for much longer than Lois and Clark did, even if it wasn't on a regular network, and it didn't have as much high noticeability at that time. I would say now it's a legendary show. It had a lot of fans. It had a cult following, which was a sci-fi show where Andromeda was this sentient ship that he was the captain of. And I tried that for a while. Didn't watch that or Hercules very long. They weren't my type of show. But he had some of his own success, and it just goes to show you can get turned down for playing one of the most famous, popular characters on the planet and still get another famous, popular character that's been in many comic books and forms of literature and movies throughout all time. And, Teri Hatcher's been acting since she left Lois and Clark. She did another long series, longer than Lois and Clark, with Desperate Housewives. She's been a guest star on lots of other television shows. And now we're going to have both of them together on Supergirl. He says Teri Hatcher's playing his wife on the show. The announcement of Teri Hatcher said that she's been announced as the big bad on Supergirl. So I don't know if they're both the big bad or if she's the aggressor in the situation and kind of has control of him, or if they are going to end up going their own separate ways, or maybe she wants to be villainous and he doesn't want to be, or maybe they both will together to some even degree be the big bad on the show. What I love, and I've mentioned this before, is that they always go back to the well of people that have been in the Superman family or been involved in some way with possibly being in the Superman family, as in the case with Kevin Sorbo, and they keep casting them on the continuing shows. Lots of people appeared on Smallville. Helen Slater is on Supergirl. And now Teri Hatcher, who was a huge part of the mythos on the Lois and Clark program, is going to be on Supergirl. And then, of course, we have Kevin Sorbo. But Dean Cain's on the show. I'd love to have a scene with them, with Dean Cain and Teri Hatcher somehow interacting. And they could even do, a lot of times they do tongue-in-cheek humor on the show. They could have a Dean Cain, Kevin Sorbo moment where they somehow reference the fact that Dean Cain played Superman, and obviously they wouldn't say that on the show, but they could somehow do some sort of witty joke that kind of acknowledged that fact. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm loving Supergirl. The ratings have gone down as the second season has gone on. A lot of people are complaining about the Alex relationship. I don't know if it's because it's a gay relationship or if it's because it's another character. Some people say it's just because it's a secondary character and we want the show to be about Supergirl. Some people say we don't want to see romance on our action shows. We want to see a lot more of the interesting things that can happen on shows. We don't, romance doesn't always have to play a part. It's cliche. It's old. It's something that we've seen over and over again. We don't need to see it anymore. Some people seem to have a problem with the fact that it's supposed to be a family show, a show safe for kids, and they're doing a gay relationship. I think it's great to show inclusivity and diversity and the idea that we're accepting of other types of relationships and we're accepting of love in whatever form it comes in. But I could get behind the idea that maybe they're spending too much time on other people's relationships and not enough on Supergirl. But it is an ensemble show, and while Kara is the star and it is her show, she still has a cast around her that have their own stories going on, and I'm okay with that too. And I'm very much looking forward to these new guest stars. And I hope the show gets picked up for a third season, and I hope the ratings pick up. Watch the show. Help it along. Enjoy it. If you haven't seen it, it's really a good show. It's heartwarming. It has a lot of emotion, a lot of feelings, and they do a lot of the inspiring stuff really well. Thanks for watching, everybody, and remember, always look up in the sky.